are studying chapter number 7 of standard 8 biology. As you all know, the name of the chapter is conservation of plants and animals. So we were discussing about a visit of Bujo Paheli and his classmates along with Madhavji, a forest officer, and Professor Ahmed to Pachmari Biosphere Reserve. In the previous lecture, they have visited the wildlife sanctuaries, right? Now, in this lecture, we are going in the national park. So, children, along with Professor Ahmed and Madhavji enters in the national park named as Satpura National Park. National parks are generally built to protect the whole ecosystem. It is very large and you can see the diversity in animals, plants and microorganisms. They preserve, means in the national parks there is a protection is given to flora, fauna, landscape and historic objects of an area. As we all know, flora means the plants of a particular area, fauna means the animals of particular area, and they also preserve the landscape and historic objects of an area. So here in the national park all these are preserved, right? Satpura National Park was the first reserve forest of India. So now Madhavji and Professor Ahmed along with all the children enter in this national park. Madhavji explained the kids about the importance of national park, and he also told them that here we can find out some rock shelters and rock paintings too. What are the rock shelters? Rock shelters are nothing but they are evidence of prehistoric human life of these jungles. Means how the human beings were living here in the jungles. That is shown here through the rock shelters. We can also find some rock paintings here. In these paintings, the human which were living in the back, okay, before so many years, we can find out them playing musical instrument, or they are hunting the animals, or they are dancing, right? So this rock paintings we can found here in Satpura National Park. Now as they are moving ahead, they have seen a board named as Satpura Tiger Reserve. So Madhavji told the children about the Project Tiger, which was launched by Indian government to protect the tigers. As we know that tigers were continuously decreasing, means the numbers of tigers were continuously decreasing. So our government has launched the Project Tiger. The main aim or objective of this project is to save or to protect the tigers, right? So now they are entering in Satpura Tiger Reserve. So the main objective of Project Tiger was fulfilled here in Satpura Tiger Reserve. Here the numbers of tigers are increased day by day. So this is one of the good sign for the tigers. Now Professor Ahmed and Madhavji was telling the children that there are so many animals which are found here in Satpura National Park, like lions, elephants, Barashinga, etc. But they are not found nowadays. Okay, so these animals are known as endangered animals. So let's look to the definition of endangered animals. The animals whose numbers are diminishing means decreasing to a level that they might face extinction. Extinction means now they will not find out, means we cannot see them. Okay, so these types of animals are known as endangered animals. They are almost about to extinct. Okay, so Bujo remembered about, yes, dinosaurs. Okay, nowadays we are not able to see the dinosaurs. If we do not preserve or protect our animals like lions, elephant, barashinga, tigers, etc., then our next generation or maybe next to next generation will not find these animals. So these animals are known as endangered animals. So in the Satpura National Parks, activities, human activities like grazing, poaching, hunting, collection of firewood, medicinal plant is not allowed. As we know, the meaning of all these terms, grazing means to eat the grass which is grown in this forest. Then poaching means to kill animals illegally for their variety of skin or their tusks, etc. Then hunting, we know that killing of animals. Collection of firewood and medicinal plants means we cannot cut the plants here in the national parks. Even capturing of animals means to take animals with us is also not allowed here in the national park. Now, children along with Madhavji and Professor Ahmed were going inside this forest and they were discussing about the harmful effect of killing the animals. If we kill the animals, if we do not protect our environment, if we do not protect our plants and animals, then it is harmful for us only. So you might have questioned, ma'am, how it is harmful to us, but we can say that each and every animal is linked with other animals. Okay, so what is the problem if the animals or plants are killed? Then it creates an imbalance in the nature. So imbalance in the nature which is created by us is harmful for us only, right? So it also creates an imbalance in food chain and food web. What is a food chain and food web? You have already learned in the previous classes, right? So we should not kill the animals, we should preserve all the plants, animals and microorganisms of the earth, right? Now Madhavji was explaining the children about an ecosystem. An ecosystem is nothing but the system in which all plants, animals and microorganisms are living with their abiotic components or non-living components, that is soil, water, climate, humidity, temperature, etc. So let's have a look to the definition of ecosystem. It is made up of all the plants, animals and microbes in an area along with non-living components. Which are the non-living components? As I told you that the temperature, humidity, soil, water, These all are non-living components of the ecosystem. Right? Now, Bujo was asking a question to Madhavji that how the animals, the numbers of animals are recorded. Are we doing anything? Are the people of government is doing anything to record the number of animals and plants which are there in the forest? So Madhavji explained him and other children that there is a book named Red Data Book. Here you can see Red Data Book. It maintains the records of all endangered plants and animals. Why they maintain the record? Because if any plant or animal is endangered, then we must have to preserve them, protect them, so our next generation can easily find them. Right? So Red Data Book is maintained in the India as well as internationally in the whole world. By seeing the Red Data Book, we can find out the endangered species of various plants and animals. Now, the children were very tired and they rest in the place. While resting, they were discussing about the term migration. So Madhavji reminded them that migration is nothing but the process where animals or birds in a group, they move from one place to another in search of food, shelter or for reproduction, where their original habitat is not comfortable. Now what is the meaning of it? It means the birds fly a far away distance from other continent or from other country to our country in India. For what? Yes, they come here to live comfortably because in their original habitat they have very much cold, so they cannot live there, they cannot get food there and they cannot do reproduction there. So for that particular season they fly over for a long distance and they come here for food, shelter and to do reproduction. Generally these birds come in groups and they stay here in the proper or comfortable climate. When they found that now it is hot here, they again fly far and reach to their original habitat. So Madhavji explained the children about migration. Now Bujo is having a question that what is the alternative or what is the option for deforestation. So Madhavji told them the best option for deforestation is reforestation. You might have heard about this term. Reforestation is nothing but growing of plants where the forest is already there. When we cut the plants in the forest, means we are doing the deforestation. Then in the same place, if we grow the another plants, then it is known as reforestation. So we can say that restocking of the destroyed forest by planting new trees is known as reforestation. So reforestation is the best alternative or best option of deforestation, because in deforestation we are cutting the plants, while in reforestation we are growing the new plants in place of the destroyed plants. Right? So if we do not cut the plants and if we save the plants, then there is no need of reforestation. how can we as a student do this? So Madhavji gave a good example of it. We can do the recycling of paper. Recycling of paper means we can see we are using the paper, right? But if we use the paper, okay, which is already used, by recycling them. So it is a good method. If all the students will do this method of recycling, then we can save hundreds or we can say thousands of trees per day. So recycling of paper is very good option to save the trees or plants. Now as it is almost evening, so Madhavji told all the children that let's move back towards home as it is danger to live in the forest or stay in the forest in the night. So now they are moving back towards their home, and here we have completed our chapter, the conservation of plants and animals. In the next lecture, we are going to start the new chapter, chapter number 18 of science subject, that is air pollution, air and water pollution. Till that, be at home, be safe. Thank you.
आभार।